Hernandez here, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a awesome camera projection. We're going to take a photo and convert that into a 3D scene, animate a camera, and render it out in Nuke. So I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be awesome. Let's go. So I went ahead and took a photo today with my digital camera, and this is the camera projection we're going to be doing today. So later on we're going to be doing pretty complex matte paintings, mountains, castles, landscapes, VFX sci-fi environments, but we got to know the basics first. So let's just start off with basic box. Later on this can resemble anything else. It's going to be a basic 1080. Normally we could do this in 2K or even 4K. For the sake of the tutorial, we're going to keep it at 1080. If you did want to do this with a aspect ratio of you know, say like 189 or any other aspect ratio, 178. This is actually 178, which we're in right now. You see, it just fits perfectly. And let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys. Leave some comments. I could probably do a slower version later on, but I'm gonna be doing this like medium speed, not fast and not too slow. So yeah, so anyways, this is we don't need any kind of matte because we're just going to be working in this aspect ratio here. So first things first, we got to separate the background from the foreground. We want our camera animation to reveal that this is actually a 3D object, not flat. So let's just go ahead and do that. First things first, let's make ourselves a clean plate. So I'm using shortcuts here on the keyboard. V is for that, S is for the clone tool, okay, and I'm holding Alt down to sample my area, right click, and I hunch a lot, so lower that down a little bit. So first things first, we're going to be making our clean plate. For the sake of the tutorial, this is not going to be perfect. So, you know, if this was a production, you're going to want to go ahead and take your time and, well, depending on the budget too, never mind. This is the daily task of a matte painter, you know, cleaning up plates. So I'm holding Alt and I'm left clicking. Okay, that's loading in that sample from that area, and now I'm just overriding. You see where the little trigger is? Z to zoom in, spacebar to click and drag. This is a one-on-one tutorial, so if you know Photoshop well, I hope I'm not annoying you with all this detail. My dogs are barking today. Got a German Shepherd and what's the other one? Like a lab mix mutt something. Cute dog. They're both awesome. Like I said, if this is a production, you're going to want to take your time. For the sake of the tutorial, doing this quick. Ain't no one got time for that. I didn't even need to do this whole thing, but you know, because our camera move, depending on the camera move, you only need to paint out what you need to paint out for your camera move. I'm just playing it safe and cleaning up more than I probably need. Oh, we're 9 minutes in. Let's speed this up. Yeah. Looks good to me. Good enough for now. Not really. We just want it solid. We don't want no haziness going on. No right or wrong way to do this. This is like the fun part. This is like use your creativity, whatever you feel, you know, works out. I mean, it's all pretty much fun, but again, I'm just getting rid of that haziness from the image. From our cloning. That looks good to me. Good enough for now. Like I said, if this is a production, you want to go ahead and clean up these issues and stuff, but yeah, that's not bad. Moving on, we want to keep that safe. So our backup. Okay, original image untouched. I just like keeping it in here. Some people don't. It's fine. Work however the fuck you want to work. Gotta love them Hodge twins. Alright. Now what? Got our background, right? First things first, we're gonna just go ahead and save this as a as a JPEG. We're gonna call this a concept art. If we did this, if we did a nice matte painting of like whatever, a castle, a freaking sci-fi spaceship, anything, we're gonna have our nice matte painting here, right? Pretend this is it, right? You know, if this was the matte painting, you're gonna want like I just did. I just saved it out. Okay, and we're actually gonna go ahead and bring this into I'm going to save this out too. Oops. So Control Shift on the Mac, on the PC. Just going to save this out as just our background clean plate. I mean, we could already bring that into a Nuke. This is going to be pretty quick. All right, moving on. So let's go over to Maya. All right, so anyway, just create a new project, save it out as Maya. Okie dokie. We should be saving our workspace as well. We could do that. Let's just get in the habit of boom. That way, if we need to render anything out, it's just going to go there. Okay. So here I wrote up our process of our matte painting. So this is just the overview. First of all, Photoshop. We're going to find the photo we want to take, or take it, or make whatever image you want, right, as in a matte painting. So in this case, we took the photo. Okay, we didn't find it on the internet, which you can certainly do, or you can make it, you know, out of make some concept art, make your matte painting that way. Okay, then we're gonna clean it, prep it for Maya. Done. Okay. Now in Maya, we're gonna do our camera projection. Later, we're going to export it and bring it into Nuke a little bit later. Final step is just revising, kind of tweaking. So here in Maya, first things first, let's go ahead and make a new camera. So new concept, call it concept camera. We're gonna 35 focal length is fine for me. You can change that to whatever you want. So here we're gonna select our image. Here's our concept art. Okay. Cool. Cool. Now we're going to go to change this to 500. It's going to push our image plane back. Not to get in the way, we're going to change this to fill. Okay. And then we're going to go to view, panels perspective, select camera. And bring up our camera. Oh, panel, perspective, concept camera. Select camera. Okay. From here, we want to just double check our film back. Well, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to do overscan. Turn the film gate on, just so we can see everything. And where is our film? Yep, film back. Okay. Film aspect ratio, we want to change this. Remember before in Photoshop I said this is a 178? Okay. You know how we got that? What's the size of your image? 1920 by 1080? Right? So you want to do 1920 divided by 1080. 1.7 round up to 8. Okay, cool. Remember that's what we saw in here. You hit M or the marquee tool. Okay. See that? That's 269 aspect ratio. Okay, in this case we are 178. And that's a full frame. Okay. Good to understand the whys behind why we're doing things, okay? Okay. And you just want to double check. Our film gate on. Overscan. Good. Cool, so we're all set up. Now we just want to line up the plane. So I'm going to hold Alt on the keyboard. And you want to line up this plane to your ground, okay? So I'm right clicking, holding Alt, middle mouse. If you don't know this stuff, take a basic Maya tutorial. It'll help you out a lot. So that looks good. It doesn't have to be dead on, okay? This is pretty close, and that's all that really matters when it comes to camera projections. So don't try to make this like 100% perfect, okay? Moving on. So now we're just gonna pretty much lock our camera and then start modeling. So again, just select your camera and go ahead and lock these positions. Click, hold shift. Click here, hold shift. Click the bottom one. That'll multiple select. Right click and lock everything. All right. We're ready to start modeling. Good old mineral water. All right. So now, first things first, you want to model the floor. So we're going to go over here, create. You want a polygon, obviously. Cube, W, E, R. R is for, W is for move, E is for rotate, R is for scale. So I just hit R and I'm scaling my plane. Awesome, now we can't see nothing, so we want to go to shading, X-ray. And I'm going to want to make this flat right now, so semi-flat is good enough. It's a ground, but I don't want to use a ground plane. I prefer using cubes even for the ground. Okay. So now we're gonna model this thing. So this is a process for all matte paintings. You know, you just, it's pretty much the same thing. Mouse is freaking sticking. the hell? Here we go. Create polygon cube. I just want to do that again. Create polygon cube. Again, I'm just using the WER shortcuts. I'm going to click here on the front side, hit F. Click here on the side, click F. And you see right now, we want this sitting on top of our shape here. So first things first, we want this on top, okay? Not too much on top, but just enough. You know, I could actually expand that a little bit. Just to make it easier to see. Good enough for me. Okay. Boom. Alright, so now we know it's actually sitting on top now. Now we're going to keep on tweaking it. So we're a little far out, so we're going to use a tool called Zoomerator. This is a plugin I installed. If you want a tutorial how to install this, go ahead and leave a comment. Okay, this is a tool that's going to help me out. This is just too small for me to really see what the heck is going on. It's fine right now, but later on it's going to get more difficult. So I'm not using it now. I'll use it in a bit. Alright, see, I need it ready. I just can't see any closer. You don't want to just zoom in on the camera because you can't, because we're using that for our reference to line everything up. Okay. So, it's kind of close, and I really don't feel like shifting these things around, so I'm just gonna, let me see. See, like I say, you don't want this under, okay? You want it sitting right on it, but not. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, so I think this is probably as far as we could go at this step. I could have aligned the plane a little bit better, but it's okay. For the sake of the tutorial, let's move on. So you see what I'm doing? I'm lining this up. I'm turning this photo into this 3D object. That's all we're doing. And you want to get, at this stage, you want to get close and make sure you really get it right. So right click, vertex, gonna select the corner. As long as you're not going down into the ground, you're fine. If you go left, if you go right. Again, this is all and I'm going to try to speed it up here. It's looking good to me. Let's go ahead and check the top out. Vertex. And this is good enough. So we're gonna move on here in a sec. Okay. Go ahead and add a bevel. Nope, that's way too much. Let's try that again. Still way too much. And that looks good to me. So again, we're gonna have to probably adjust a little bit. So let's just zoom in and make sure we're still good. If not, let's make a couple adjustments. So if anything, it should be okay. It's going to be consistent across the board because the whole thing kind of shrunk in. I'm going to select everything and expand a little bit. Expand the whole thing evenly a little bit. All right, that's good enough. Let's move on. Okay, moving on. Close that out. Spacebar back to this. And cool, we got that and we got this. This doesn't even look like anything, so what I'm gonna do is just insert Edgeloop. Oops. I'm just giving myself a couple markers here to see where, you know, some edges are. Let me know this thing's freaking a model instead of just like, you know, blob. All right, so we got that, we got this. Let's separate them in layers. Call that box. Ground. Okay, we don't need to worry about that for now. We don't even gotta mess with this. You don't even gotta do that, but okay. Next step. All right, now we gotta animate our camera. So let's make this like a, let me see, a 5-second shot. So if it's 24 frames times 5 should be 120. Yep. So let's go ahead and make it 120. Oops. So panel. So let's go ahead and animate this. So what I like to do is this. Create camera through view. Okay, panels. Select camera. We're going to call this animated camera, or call it whatever you want. Go ahead and go ahead and unlock. Selected. So here on the first frame, you want a key selected. Okay. Go ahead to the last frame, do your animation. However you want. And right click, key selected. Huh. That's interesting. I unlocked this, didn't I? Unlock selected. Yeah, this ain't locked. Come to the last frame. Oops. Oh, was I not in the right freaking thing here? Yeah, what I did, I kept going to my wrong camera here. So concept camera is still fine. Okay, panel perspective because it's locked. Animated camera is now animated, so select it. That's what we're seeing. Just ignore the background for now. Actually, we gotta delete it. Well, we don't. No, we don't. We don't gotta do anything. That's cool. Some kind of, now about halfway I want to look at the ground just to really emphasize that it is a projection. So about here, I'm going to keep it selected. All right, save it out. Cool. Awesome. So now we got our camera animated. So let's bring it into Nuke. So let's just double check a couple things before we do that. So let's double check our animated camera. Select camera. 35 focal length. It's 178. Cool. Perspective, concept camera. Select it. Same settings. We're good. All right. So now we just want to export this. I think Control A will bring back your layers. Okay. So let's go ahead and export everything separately. So let's go ahead and export the ground. File, export. Let's double check our settings. Okay. You want to use the latest one, 2016. Okay, this is the release. FBX has been notorious for being really messed up upon export. It's been a real pain for me the past couple of years, the linking and syncing up camera data from Maya to Nuke. Usually I had to use like a plugin and do my own kind of methods. Looks like the latest version is working, however, so we're good to go and use this. So good job, Maya and Nuke, for finally fixing this issue. And whoever makes FBX as well. Who makes FBX? Maya, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, by default, it'll just be all of this stuff. You want animation, you want cameras, everything. Okay. Export. We select our ground. Okay. File, export selection, and ground. Yeah, we got 2 Maya folders. That's fine. Ground. Export our box. And export both of our cameras. Panel perspective, we're going to do the concept camera. Select camera. File, export selection. Concept. Panel perspective. Animated camera. File, export selection. Okay. Alrighty, let's go to Nuke. Boom! Alrighty, here in Nuke. First things first, let's go ahead. We're going to be doing a projection mapping here in Nuke. So let's just go ahead and set up a project as so. Okay, so we need 7 things. Okay, we need a couple scenes. No, we need 1 scene. We need 2 cameras. Okay. We need our whatever image we're going to be using. Okay, I'm hitting R on the keyboard. Oops. I mean tab on the keyboard. And then I'm just typing in what I want, you know. Or you can right click and search for it, okay? It's up to you. I'm hitting tab. It's a shortcut. So 3D Geo. I don't want a 3D Geo, and project 3D node. F on the keyboard. And scanline render. All of these you can find. I'll show you where to find them. Right click, 3D. You can find all this stuff here, okay? Geo, got your re-geo, you got your camera, you got your scene, you got your scanline render, and project 3D is somewhere in here. Anyways, so is that our stuff? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we're good. All right, let's bring in our So I'm hitting tab, okay? Tab to switch from 2D to 3D. F, middle keyboard, like zoom around, okay? Let's bring in our, what do you want to bring in? Let's bring in our, let's double click here. Let's bring in our animated camera first. See, with previous versions of the FBX, this wouldn't show up, and it would just be a pain. So look, we got our animated camera. Isn't that cool? Boom. All right, let's bring in our static camera. Cool. That's not gonna move. You'll see. You can see both cameras side by side. See, they line up perfectly. One moves, one doesn't. That's what we want. So now we're going to bring in two of these. One for the background, one which is our clean plate, and one for our box. Whoops. Well, I messed that up. Huh. There you go, that's what we want. In this one, oh, we need a read geo. So R for read. We want our it's a concept art. We want our background only. Clean plate. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a save as. Gonna hit tab. Let's see what we got. One. Nothing. Because we need our geo. Got our geo here. Let's load it up. Load our floor. Maya. Ground. Boom. Hitting tab on the keyboard. F. See, we got our ground now. Now we're gonna have our box. Where's our box? Boom. See how easy that was? Now obviously we don't want color bars. That was just a placeholder. And we don't want that. We want our box. And this is ridiculously clean. Okay, so let me just show you. It's in. We're good. Okay. Lines up. Everything's great so far. I'm going to pull up two views so you guys see how to do this. Split horizontal. Right click, window, new comp viewer. Oops. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Wait, let me close that. Close pane. There we go. So you want one 3D and one in 2D. So click in here, tab, and go to your. That's what you want to be seeing. Okay. So as you scrub, you can see what's going on. So I'm going to change the frame rate because remember we went to 120. So in here, hit S. Change that to 120. While we're here, let's change this to 1080 because that is obviously not the right resolution. Boom. Looking good already. Oh yeah. And that's looking pretty good to me. If I must say so myself, that is not bad. Okay, so if we hit spacebar on the keyboard, we'll see one obvious issue. So now we're good. Now we just gotta, you know, improve it. Go from there. Let me render it out just so you guys can see what the hell is going on. So let's hit W on the keyboard for right node. Let's render it out. Double click it and render selected. So let's just render it out, play it back, so you guys can see what it looks like in real time. We're not bad, 50 minutes in. I normally go a lot quicker, but I'm trying to explain things as I go. And it's my first tutorial in my life. So you gotta give me credit for that one. And if this tutorial sucks, in your opinion, well, that's just the way it is. All right, so here we go. Let's just look at it. It's done. Okay, let's play back. Turn the loop on. It's not bad. It looks pretty photoreal to me. Oh, there's an obvious issue. What the fuck? No, that looks good to me. Any big issues? I mean, oh yeah, you got this issue up here. So the way we're gonna fix that, we're gonna use actual image. We're gonna use the actual box. So let's just start deleting stuff. All right, W on the keyboard. Delete, delete, delete. And we just want to clean this up. Bring in a black layer so I can really see what's left. Obviously you can't see much, but this helps. Let's clean that up with a hard edge. So I'm holding down shift, clicking, still holding shift and clicking here, and that cleans across the whole thing. Okay, so click, hold shift, click there while still holding shift, and it does like a sweep across. I don't have any kind of Wacom tablet right now. Just doing this with my mouse. And that's good enough for the sake of the tutorial. Looks good to me. Let's go ahead and save this out. Normally you want to only have that in the layer, but whatever. All right, box with alpha. I don't think it has alpha though. Let me see. Channels. So if there's no alpha in here, you could just make one. Boom. You can invert that. Control I. File, save as. Save it as a, I could do TIFF, that's fine with me. Got your alpha, yes. Good. Save transparency. Box with alpha. Okay. Let's go back to Nuke. Let's read it. Let's just do it before and after so you guys can see what happened here. Huh. Still not bad. That's strange that's happening. Or before the camera moved. Anyways, let's go ahead and use this new one. Just gonna be cleaner. You can already see the edges being cleaned up. And the thing is, alright, this one's better. Let's go ahead and close that. Render out a new version. Render select right nodes, or you can use F7. Boom. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like in a minute. And I'm gonna pause it. Bathroom break. Alright, I'm back from the bathroom and this thing's done rendering. So let's play it out and see what the hell it looks like. Hit L just to loop it. We're just watching it and seeing it's not bad. I want to look a little closer. We could fix some anti-aliasing from the camera movement. It's easy as this. So anti-aliasing, look at these chopped edges. You see that? We want more of a blur, so that's gonna help. Yeah. See before, jagged. Now it's gonna be a little smoother. So that's gonna help a lot. One other thing I'm noticing is the ground doesn't have its original shadow from the original photo. Let's go ahead and put that back. See, because we made our clean plate and we got rid of this nice shadow below here. So let's go ahead and just name this clean plate. As to not mess anything up from the original. So we got this. Okay. So we got our clean plate background. Got this. Let's go ahead and create a clipping mask. Turn it. So what are we doing? We're gonna hold Control, click on that. That's gonna select the whole layer, right? And we're gonna turn that into a clipping mask right here. Boom. So what do we got here? We got our mask. Now we're gonna create a clipping mask of it below. You see, and now we're gonna click on the mask and hit Control I, and that's gonna invert it. So that's popping that on there. That's removing and I'm undoing some stuff. Okay, so we selected our thing, right? And we got our good layer that we want. We're gonna make a mask out of that. Boom. We've now masked that out. Now we've put this shadow back on the clean plate. Okay, now we're gonna merge those. And now we're just gonna do a little bit more cleaning. So I'll show you the clean plate before and after, but we put back this shadow, this natural shadow from the matte painting, because it was good. You know what? Let me open up my clean plate. So what I did is brought in my clean plate, and because I don't want to redo all this work, I just bring it in my clean plate and deleting from the actual clean plate this lower area where the shadow is. You get it? And revealing this new one with the shadow. Okay, so watch when I turn it on. It's just gonna reveal that for me. Okay, that's all I'm doing, because I like that shadow. That's from the original plate. There we go. Boom. And let's save this out. This is our new plate. Save out the Photoshop version, and then we're going to just save as the flat JPEG version. Clean plate V2. You'll see. So you see the difference? So this is what we did before, and this is what we just did. Okay, because look, it's gonna look a lot better. So if you just look here, okay, you notice there's no shadow, it looks kind of flat, which gives away the CG value of it. Let's plug in the original shadow back. Boom. Night and day. We now have a really good looking shot. Let's render this out, and I think we're gonna be happy with this. I mean, there's some obvious issues here. I mean, this needs to be extended longer. You guys want to go ahead and do that? It's just a matter of going into Photoshop, extending it. You guys can do that on your own. And alright guys, so you see here, we cleaned this up, looks good. Let's go ahead and render out the new version. About to be done. Alright, so this technique here, you can use on anything. You can use on a crate, on a shipping yard, on anything that has like a rectangular shape to it. Try to get this technique down, you know, with a simple object. You know, do it just like I did. Go find a floor and you know, take a picture of a box on a floor. See if you could do this. Once you could, then move on to the next tutorial, which I'm going to be showing you guys how to do an environment. A little more modeling involved, but the concepts are the same. Let's go ahead and look at this shenanigans. Kiddo. Boom. Looks good to me. You get a lot of parallax. I mean, look at all this. You know, this here is the photo. Move this thing out the way. This is a photo image. Okay, I took this picture today with my camera. Okay, and using Photoshop, Nuke, and Maya, we're able to turn it into this. Looks like a freaking video of a box. Doesn't even look CGI, it looks real. Okay. I mean, just look at the detail. Yeah, it could be higher detail, but we're not worrying about that right now. But I mean, the texture is there. Okay. Look at the floor. You know. Who knows how long this would have taken to model and texture with like Mari. So camera projections, you're saving a lot of time. A lot of energy. And hope you guys like this tutorial. Like I said, you guys can go ahead and clean up the bottom part as your homework. And that back part. It shouldn't be too hard for you. And that's pretty much wraps this video up. Anything else you guys want to know, please let me know. Please subscribe. Leave some comments. And that's a wrap. Talk to you guys later.